Welcome to another episode of Ship a War, my review of Lucy.
Ship a War. When ship happens, I'm there.
I'm sure you guys are thinking to yourself, what movie is she about to review right now? Because I've never heard of it ever in my life. Yeah, I didn't either till like 2 days ago. I actually uncovered this movie on Yahoo Movies because they had the trailer for it. I ended up watching it out of curiosity. Ended up being very interested in the premise of what they were showing on the trailer, and I ended up, doing a little bit of Google searching, came across the information that this movie's actually on iTunes already, even though it's officially supposed to be released in theaters in January of 2012, but you can also view it on iTunes. And this is why I'm going to be reviewing the movie, because obviously it did something good. And that something good is that it actually kept me entertained from beginning to end, and it actually had me emotionally invested in the characters and what was happening to everybody in the film. When a movie does that, keeps you entertained from beginning to end, and keeps you emotionally involved into what's happening with the characters, it's doing a good job with what it's doing. Now, even though I really enjoyed this movie, I have to say it's not the best movie I've ever seen this year, nor that the movie doesn't have its flaws, because it does have its flaws. There's a lot of things in the movie that I thought it could have been polished a lot better. There was certain disjointed scenes in between other scenes. Some scenes that were very overacted, or some dialogue that was very misplaced in certain points. But even though the movie had things like that, the overall storytelling and the overall acting was good. It made you forget about the little things that, were, I guess, bad, and just made you focus on all the good. And you can tell this movie is an indie film. It's obviously an indie film. And one thing that I appreciate about indie films in general is that, they actually go out of their way to make the movie good. It's not one of those blockbuster productions where the only thing they're worried about is making a buck off of the movie, and they don't care about the artistic value of the film. Well, this movie is not like that whatsoever. It actually cared of what it was trying to do, what it was trying to tell. Now, one of the actors that I was really taken off guard by is the lead actor in this movie, and that's Peter Facinelli, who you guys may know from the Twilight Saga. Now, I was taken off guard by him because I have never seen him in anything outside from the Twilight Saga. So seeing him playing a character that is completely opposite of what he plays in Twilight is weird, but in a good way. Also, reading up on this, movie, I learned that he's actually the screenplay writer for this film. It's his movie. Now, the female love interest to Peter's character is played by Jamie Alexander, who you guys may know from Thor. Now, Jamie and Peter, I have to say, had a lot of chemistry in this movie. I actually kind of wish there was more to them, even though there was a lot to them, but I would have liked to see more. If that makes any sense. The thing is with this movie is that the way the movie starts off, it starts off with both of them in a very awkward position. So there's not much of a romance most of the movie, but you get flashbacks of their past encounter with each other. So I have to say this movie was really good. Not the best movie, but it had me entertained, it had me emotionally invested, and it was worth watching. So that is all for this episode of Ship a War. Goodbye, and until next time.